time for him to go. Like he wants his rodeo. Oh, well, it's bulls and blood, it's the dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white and the knuckles, the gold in the buckle, he'll win the next go round. It's boots and chaps, it's cowboy hats, it's spurs and let it go. It's the ropes and the rain and the joy and the pain, and they call the thing a rodeo. Drive a cowboy crazy, it'll drive a man insane, and he'll sell off everything he owns just to pay to play the game. And a broken home and some broken bones is all he'll have to show for all the years that he spent chasing this dream they call rodeo. Oh, well, it's bulls and blood, it's the dust and mud, it's the roar of a Sunday crowd. It's the white and the knuckles, the gold in the buckle, he'll win the next go round. It's boots and chaps, it's cowboy hats, it's spurs and let it go. It's the ropes and the reins and the joy and the pain, and they call the thing a rodeo. It's the broncs and the blood, it's the steers and the mud, and they call the thing rodeo. Wow, wow.
Welcome to this edition of Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Let's send it over to your voice of the Tetons, Mike Reuter. Teton Basketball starts now.
Welcome back, sports fans. Mike Reuter here from the Well in Williston. It is the regular season home finale for the Tetons. They'll be 4 straight on the roads, and they'll be up against, and once again, it's another rubber match against Miles Community College and the Pioneers. Although the Tetons have their first game on the scoreboard against these Pioneers in Newtown at the Puster Gillis Tip-Off Classic. Came away with a win against Miles, but a roster issue ended up with the Tetons having to forfeit that game, so we'll have to see how things come down to the wire here in the standings, as Wilson State currently just game and a half up over Lake Region State in the standings, and now they're looking to try and secure a home play-in game for the Region 13 tournament. Tetons coming in with a 5-11 conference record, the Pioneers at 9-7. And below the Tetons, it's Lake Region State at 4-13 and Bismarck State at 3-13. Tetons own the head-to-head tiebreaker against Bismarck State, but not Lake Region. So the Tetons will need a big-time performance here tonight to get the job done and get after it against Miles Community College. Tetons warm it up. We have about 4.5 minutes left to go before we get underway with this one. We're going to take a peek first off at the Pioneers to see how they've been doing and where they're at this point in the season. Taking a look at the Pioneers, they're coming into this game in their last look. Got to check at the right sport would help. So we'll look at the Teton basketball team, not the baseball team, but the Pioneers are coming in with a 13-12 overall record, 9-7 as we mentioned in conference. They won their last game, and they are scoring 79 points per game, shooting 46% from the field, 38% from deep, and 71% from the free throw line, getting 38 rebounds and 16 assists per game. Breaking down the statistics a little bit more for this Pioneer squad as we race towards the start of this game here in Williston. For the statistics-wise for the Pioneers, They are allowing 82 points per game, fouling 19 times per contest. They get just under 5 blocks, just under 7 steals per game, and they are a plus 1.8 in the rebound margin. Out of their 38 rebounds per game, they're pulling down 25 defensive and 9 offensive rebounds, and they are holding their opponents to shooting 42% from the field and 33% from beyond the arc. Taking a peek over at Williston State and the Tetons for Tetons sophomore night, as they have 3 sophomores that they honored here before the 20-minute warm-up session began. The Tetons have had a good run of it as of late, but they now have won 4 of their last 6. Their last game last Wednesday was a 1-point loss here at home to Lake Region State. Came up just 1 point short, but despite being down big at halftime to this Royals team. That halftime score against the Royals, it was an 8-point deficit that the Tetons were able to climb back on, but they fell just 1 short, and a last-second three-pointer by Ben Yambi missed off the front of the rim. Brady Feller tried to put back up, hoping he'd draw contact, but nothing doing. The shot went in, but the Tetons fell just 1 point shy. Looking at statistics for Williston State, throughout their 25 games played so far this year, they've scored 78 points per game, shooting 43% from the field, 32% from deep, 70% from the line, pulls down 39.5 rebounds and 15 assists per game. Defensively, the Tetons are allowing 85 points per game. Their opponents are shooting 46% from the field and 39% from deep. They're getting over 2.5 blocks per game, 7 steals. They're turning it over 15.9 times per, fouling just 13 times per contest, something that they've been very good as of late, keeping lower than they had in the first part of the season. Leading the way in scoring for Williston State is going to be Rex Sterling. He has a good chance to come away with Player of the Year awards in the Mondac Conference. We'll have to see how things shake out here down the stretch, as it is going to be a packed field. There's some sensational players here in the Mondac. Rex is coming in with 20 points per game as well. On the rebounding end, he is extending his rebound margin over the last 2 weeks. He is now getting 11.1 rebounds per game. Tetons and the Pioneers in their final 30 seconds before they get underway here in this one are all just about set and ready to go, and we have final 20 seconds on the clock before we get the starting lineups here from the Well in Williston. Now the Tetons looking to take a win off of these Pioneers. Tetons are behind by 3 games in the standings, 2 miles. And with now 5 to go, it's still a chance for the Tetons to catch the Pioneers in the standings, depending on how this and the rest of the games go. We're getting the pre-game announcements underway. As they've announced both squads, the Pioneers will be in their road blue uniforms with white lettering and trim, and the Tetons will be in their home white with black lettering and green trim. Starting off with the starting lineups for Miles Community College and the Pioneers. A 5'11 sophomore from Chinook, Montana, number 1, Ethan Bell. A 6'3 sophomore guard from Livingston, Montana, number 3, Peyton Colcott. A 6'5 freshman guard from Miles City, Montana, number 5, Ryder Lee. A 6'8 sophomore forward from Melbourne, Australia, number 21, McGuire DeWam. And number 25, a 6'7 sophomore forward from Churchill, Montana, number 25, Ethan Venema. Now it's time for the starting lineups for Williston State and the Tetons. Coming out first for Williston State is going to be a 6'5 guard of freshman, number 15, Makai Marks. Out next for Williston State, Tyler Best. Best coming in, a 6'5 guard forward. Coming in from Australia, number 20, Tyler Best. Number 22, a 6'2" freshman guard from Katy, Texas, Richard Massey. A 6'2" freshman guard from Stockholm, Sweden, number 23, Ben Yambi. And starting at center for the Tetons, number 25, a 6'8" freshman forward from Melbourne, Australia, Rex Sterling. Tetons are coached by Alex Herman and Apollo Beck. Pioneers are coached by Chase Tate and Isaac Ladoche. The Pioneers out on the court first. We're going to see if they can't take away the first possession of the game. It will be in the center circle. DeWam jumping for the Pioneers. In for the Tetons will be Rex Sterling for Williston State. So DeWam and Sterling slapping 5 together before they start. Ball is in the center circle, and it'll be won easily by DeWam. He'll get the ball to Bell, who will cross the timeline. Pioneers for the first possession of the game. Lee holding on, working away on top. Swing pass over to Bell. Open look for 3, and he'll knock that one down. So a good swing pass to Bell. Knocks a three-pointer down, and Pioneers have an early 3-0 lead. Yambi over to Sterling up on top. He'll find Best. Big pump fake. He's going to get it off to Massey. Back up on top to Yambi, who looks to drive. Got by a couple of defenders, and he's going to be blocked by DeWam. Tipped up by Massey, and it'll be Best comes down with it, and there's going to be a foul called on Bell, who ran into Tyler Best. So Bell just couldn't stop his momentum before he ran into the starting 3 position for Williston State. First personal, first team foul here. 19:26 left in the first on the American State Bank scoreboard. Inbound play goes to Mackay Marks. He'll hand it off to Yambi. Little shimmy to shake, guarded by Bell, calling for a Sterling screen. Sterling picks it up. He'll pick and pop with Sterling, and Rex is going to miss it. To be tipped out of bounds. It'll go, they say, last touch by Massey and Williston State. Tetons trail by 3rd. Now they'll put on a little bit of full court press. They get the ball into Bell, being guarded by Massey. Flips it up on top of the perimeter to Lee. Back to Bell. Back to Lee on the near wing. Crossing over. High post to Venema. Venema steps through. Gets a little running hook. Up and in it goes. Ethan Venema with 2 points. Now a 5-0 start for Miles. Back up the court comes Yambi. Over to Best. Crosses over to the top of the perimeter. Hands it to Massey. Massey with a drive. He gets down low. Doesn't have anybody. Finds Yambi underneath. Puts it up and Ben Yambi with the first bucket of the game for Williston State. 5-2. Back comes Bell and the Pioneers being guarded again by Massey. All 72 feet up the court. Over to go to Lee. Lee looking, gets it to DeWam. Charity stripe. Step up jumper for DeWam. He knocks it down. Pioneers are 3 for 3 from the field here to start the game. Yambi back up. He'll hand it off to Marks on the far wing. Mackay now to Best. Best catch and shoot. 3-pointer off the handoff, and it'll be tipped away over the top of Sterling by DeWam. And DeWam, a very lengthy 6'8". He probably has a wingspan into the 7-foot range. High post to Venema. Tip pass over to the 3-pointer for Bell. No good. That'll be pulled down by Best. Works his way up. Bell tried to poke it away from behind. Sterling gets into the paint, and he's going to be fouled by DeWam on the way up. That'll send Rex Sterling to the stripe for a pair. Here with 17:56 left to go in the first half. So Sterling to the line for a pair. Chance to get it back down to a 3-point game. Currently sitting 7-2. That was the first personal on DeWam. Second team foul on the Pioneers. Sterling at the stripe. His first one on the way is going to be up and good. One more coming. So Sterling gathered himself. A great free throw shooter for the 6'8" big man. Lets his second one go. And now Rex 2 for 2 from the line. 3-point game here, 7-4. 17:54 left to go in the first. Lee with the ball on the far wing. Bounce pass up on top to Peyton Kokot. His first touch of the game. Back to Lee. In the bounce pass to Venema is going to be tipped out of bounds by Tyler Best. Just couldn't keep it in bounds. And it'll be an inbound play coming for the Pioneers in the near corner. Bell set to trigger. Waiting for someone to get it. They get it to Venema on the high post. Yambi coming to get him. Defense a little bit out of sorts for the Tetons. DeWam, skip pass out to Lee. Lee fires from range, and that one is going to be good. Ryder Lee with a 3-pointer. And that'll make it a 10-4 game. Back to a 6-point margin. Best on the drive. Best is going to hang, puts it up, no good. Has it tipped away from DeWam. Loose ball on the floor. Best going to come down with it. He'll get it up to Massey. Over to Marks. Marks in the corner to Yambi. Open look for Ben. Got it to go. Ben Yambi. So an extra pass, and there's going to be an injured Pioneer on the floor. So Peyton Kokot may have twisted an ankle. He's being helped up and gingerly walking to the bench, so we hope that Peyton is all right. So it'll be a substitution coming in early for the Pioneers. Checking into the game for Kokot will be Chaz Hawes. So Kokot seeing some medical attention from the training staff from Williston State. Inbound play goes to Bell. He'll march it up the court. Massey giving him a little bit of room to work. Now closes in on the far wing. Up on top to Dewam. Dewam being guarded by Yambi. Venema on the high post. Turnaround jumper off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Yambi. Team rebound goes to the Tetons. It hit the deck first. Up on top to Sterling. Back to Yambi. Yambi's going to fire another one from range. Got it to go. Ben Yambi with another triple for the Tetons. It's tied up at 10 apiece. Back up the court comes Bell. Being crossed over against Massey. Massey makes him bobble it. Over it goes to Haas. Just about to steal from Yambi, but Bell gets it. Back up on top. It'll go over to Lee. Lee on the baseline drive, and there's going to be a foul called on Ben Yambi after Lee used a forearm shiver. Coach Herman scratching his head after that call. Sub coming in for the Tetons. It'll be Tyson Inget coming in for Richard Massey. Inbound play coming for Miles Community College. Bell set to trigger, looking to get it into his forwards. Dewam on the low post, extend it. He's looking, waiting for Venema to curl through. Nothing there. Now Venema on the high post, working with Best. Turnaround fadeaway jumper up and good. And Venema's so good from that mid-range area. Back to a 2-point Pioneer lead, 12-10. 16-19 left to go. Best kicks it into the corner. Inget takes off on the drive. He's going to stop in the paint, up to Yambi. He's going to be tipped to Haas, comes away with it. He'll throw it up to Bell. Bell bobbles, but he'll just lay it up and in. Ethan Bell with 2 more points. Pushed back to a 4-point lead. Tetons thought they had something cooking, but ended up with the takeaway and 2 points. Best back to Yambi. Up on the top of the perimeter to Sterling. Back to Best. He's going to drive. A little bit of congestion for the Tetons offensively. Best kicks it off to Inget, who weave his way on top of the perimeter. Looking for a backdoor cut from Yambi. Nothing there. Now he's going to stop. Curl through. Flipped up, and Inget missed everything on that one. Looked like he may have been hit. Now Dewam gets in. Reverse layup up, no good. And be pulled down by Wilson State. Sterling gets it up to Inget. Best hit the floor. Long pass over to Yambi. In the corner to Marks. Open look. Mackay for 3. Got it to go. Mackay Marks. Tetons back within 1 point now. 14-13. Bell coming back up the court for the Pioneers. He'll swing it over to Kokot. Or excuse me, not Kokot. He'll swing it over to Lee. Now down to Bell. Gives it to Dewam. Working on Sterling. Turnaround jumper for Dewam. That's going to be up and no good. And back up the court comes the Tetons. Inget, bounce pass in the post to Sterling, who got the foul on Dewam, who picked up his second. And that'll put Rex back at the line this time for 2 shots. So Dewam will be coming out of the game for the Pioneers. And for the Pioneers, we will have coming in Coke. As Rex is at the line, 4-2. He'll knock his first one down to tie it up at 14 apiece. Now Coke into the game. And the low post. 3 team fouls on the Pioneers. 2 of them on Dewam here with 15 minutes exactly left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. Sterling knocked down his second of 2, and that'll give the Tetons a 15-14 lead. Up the court is Ethan Bell for Miles. Up on top, he finds Venema looking. In the corner, they get it to Haas. Kick back out to Lee. Up on top to Venema. He's going to take off. Finds Coke in the paint as it tipped away by Sterling. Looking to body down on Rex Sterling. And it's going to be tipped away. Hits Best in the backside, and it's going to be put back up and in. So Coke with a lucky 2 points there, and it's a 1-point Pioneer lead. Yambi up on top. Has it tipped away by Haas. Is going to skip through and be back to the Tetons here with 14:28 left to go. So a little careless ball handling for the Pioneers in this one. Mark set to inbound. Sterling comes up on top of the perimeter to grab it. He'll hold off, now waiting to get it off to a teammate. Takes a dribble, gives it Inget, curls around behind his back. Sterling looking to drive on Coke. He has it pocket picked by Coke. Back up the court comes. They get it underneath the Haas. Haas is going to lay it up, and off the mark is going to go. Pulled down by Best. Best gets it to Sterling. Now back to Yambi. Teton looking to get some good sets and not turn so many away. They already have 3 in the first half. Yambi has his entry pass to Sterling, tipped in the corner. It'll go to Inget. Corner 3 from Tyson, off the mark, no good. Ethan Bell with the rebound. He'll work his way back up the court to Haas. Haas, high post underneath to Dewam, couldn't handle it. It'll go back to Williston State with a couple of Teton subs coming into the game. And we have a media timeout with 13:15 left to go in the first half. We'll be back in 1 minute.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Chris English into the game for the Pioneers for the first time. Checking back in for the Tetons is going to be Richard Massey. It will be Best, Massey, Feller, Leon, and Inget out on the court for Williston State. Inbound play goes from Best to Inget. He'll be picked up by Haas on the logo. Inget, get it over to Massey. Into the corner it'll go. Leon with a quick three from the corner, up and over everything. Pulled down by Venema. Back up the court comes English for the Pioneers. Looking to get it down underneath to Koch. Nothing there. Up on top to Venema. Finds Haas on the high post. Leon right behind him. Good defense. Now to Inget. Here's a drive by Venema. Baseline jumper up and in. Ethan Venema with two more. That'll be a 3-point lead now for the Pioneers. Inget with a head of steam up across the timeline. Gets it over to Vest. Best to Massey, looks to kick it off to Feller. Feller to the high elbow, looking to go, jump stop, turns around, short shot up and in. Brady Feller with a turnaround hook from the low post, in for his first 2 points, back to a 1-point game. Long pass, here comes a baseline jumper, this time from Lee, so Ryder Lee knocks down the long 2-pointer, and back up to a 3-point game. Back and forth, both teams go. Ian Johnson set to come in. Inget crossing over on Haas, has his pocket picked again. Haas on the run out, and Best looking for the block, up and couldn't quite get there. Haas with two more, he has 4. 5-point lead once again for the Pioneers as Inget gets it off to Best. Now hand it off to Massey on the far wing, working his way back up on top to Feller. Feller dribbles through, he hands it off to Leon on the wing. Looking to take Koch on the drive, kicks it back up on top to Inget, who goes back underneath to Leon, reverse layup, up and in. Freedom Leon with his first 2 points, gives the assist to Tyson Inget. Back up comes Chaz Haas now up the court. Yambi and Johnson set to check in for the Tetons. Over on the near wing to English. They get it up to Lee. Lee with a fading jumper from the high post. That's up and in. 2 more for Lee. He scored 4 straight. Back to a 5-point game. Inget driving over to the far wing. He'll give it to Leon. He's on the baseline, up to Feller. Curling around on Lee, crossing back over. High screen coming from Leon. Feller step back jumper. In and out, no good. Venema with the rebound for the Pioneers, who now have an chance to get some more breathing room here with 11:42 left to go. English is going to be fouled on the way up. No, they're going to say it's on the ground. That'll be on Tyler Best. Best will pick up the foul, and it'll be Inget and Best coming out of the game. Yambi and Johnson coming in. So Coach Tate for the Pioneers yelling out play calls as he has Chaz Haas set to inbound the ball, looking to get it into a player. Stolen away on the inbound play by Leon. Gets it off to Yambi, who will push it up the court for the Tetons. Closing in on 11.5. Johnson, big pump fake, goes on the drive, jump stop underneath, gets pushed out to Feller for 3. Good it goes, up, no good, pulled down by Haas. Tetons, who are lighting it up early, now had it. Feller pokes it away from Venema. Here comes Feller on the layup, puts it up, and in it goes. Feller got hit on the play on the leg by Haas, but no call. Haas also had an over and back that wasn't called. The Tetons back within 3, 24-21. English gets into the paint. He's going to put it up and in over the top of Leon. English with his first bucket. 26-21, under 11 left to go. Johnson on the drive, hands it off to Massey. Massey going to be fouled by English. And Coach Herman yelling out that one was a foul. Make sure that the officiating crew heard it. As 2 more Pioneers set to come back in. Checking back in will be Ethan Bell, as well as Aguirre Dewam going into the game for Venema. And see, also Chaz Haas is out. Inbound play goes to Leon up on top of the perimeter. Off to Yambi on the far wing. Yambi pulls up for a three. Got it to go. Ben Yambi knocks down another one. And Yambi now keeping the Tetons in this one. Back down to a 2-point deficit. Back comes Bell up the court. Over to English. Tetons get down to their 2-3. Dewam driving. Little floating runner. High angle off the backboard. And it's going to be put up and in by Lee, who gave a big push underneath. Lee with two more. He's having himself a good first half. 4-point game. Yambi calling for a clear out. He'll hand it off to Feller up on top. Crosses over, being guarded by Lee. To Yambi. He's going to take off on the drive to the high elbow. Little runner up and just off the mark. No good. Pulled down by English. He'll be off to the races. Looking to guard. Is going to go up. Blocked by Massey underneath. And there's going to be a travel called on Freedom Leon, who had the ball on the deck. So English asking for a foul on Massey on there. But Massey's been so good over the last month on defense for the Tetons. Fresh 30 on the shot. No, they're going to change the shot clock to 20. Inbound play coming. Dewam pushing in on, Koch pushing in on Leon, and they're going to get it off to Dewam, who's going to draw the foul, either on Johnson or on Leon. It'll be on Ian Johnson. 13 foul on Williston State. First personal. Sterling and Best will be checking back in the game for Williston State, as it'll be Aguirre Dewam going to the line for a pair in a 4-point game. Chance to get it back to 6 if he can knock down both. Dewam at the line for his first of 2. On the way it goes. That one is going to be up and in. Now 29-24 as Best and Sterling are back into the game for Leon and Johnson. Dewam with it, getting ready for his second of 2 from the stripe. On the way, and that one will be in as well, so Dewam perfect for 2 from the line. 30-24, Tetons trail. Feller moving it around the top of the perimeter, hands it to Best. Now to Yambi, working on Bell. Yambi driving, little floater over Bell. Sterling will pick it up on the baseline. He's going to put it up, and Rex Sterling's going to be fouled. So Rex will go back to the stripe for a pair. Koch picks up his first personal, 15 foul on the Pioneers here. 9:45 left to go in the first half. Sterling back at the stripe for Williston State. Rex with his first one will rattle in there. He'll have one more coming, and a sight for sore eyes. Out on the court comes Will Olson, who's managed to battle himself back from mono. Now Olson back in the game for the first time in over a month, so good to see Will out there for Williston State. Sterling back at the stripe for his second of 2 on the way, and that one is in. Rex now 4 for 4 from the stripe, back to a 4-point game. Full court trap coming. They get the ball up to English. Olson looking to cut him off. English driving, gets into the body, kicks out into the corner. 3-pointer on the way, off the mark, pulled down by Sterling. He'll get it off to Olson. Back up the court comes Williston State. Olson weaving around the top of the perimeter, being guarded by English. Up on top to Best. Best hands it off to Massey. Massey holds up on the high post, back to Olson. Olson turns the corner, backdoor pass underneath to Yambi. Gonna flip it up and it'll be tipped away. Olson has it, 12 on the shot clock to Yambi. He'll go on the drive to Bell. Fadeaway jumper up and in. 2 more for Ben Yambi, who's having himself one heck of a first half. 2-point game. English on top of the perimeter. Up to Koch, looking for Dewam, can't find anybody. Foot fake on Best. Another foot fake. He's going to get Best up in the air and put it up and in. Koch with a good move on the baseline drive. So Tetons are going to have to, would love to have settled for a long baseline jumper there, but that'll make it 32-28. Yambi again on the drive. He'll get into the body of Bell, puts it up and in. 2 more for Yambi. They're going to go after Bell with Yambi until he can force him to stop. That'll be English into the corner. It'll go over to Lee. Lee looking for help. He gets it to English. Turn around. Elbow jumper is up and good from English. They see a high-scoring game here in Williston. Yambi will hand it off to Best up on top. Best looking to drive on English. He's going to go up underneath to Sterling. Sterling has it bobbled away. Lots of contact, and they're going to call it tie-up. Alternating arrow is going to give it to Williston State. Ethan Venema set to check back in for the Pioneers with 8:08 left to go here in half number 1. So Venema checks into the game for Koch. And the Tetons back in the paint. They get it off into the corner to Olsen. Up on top to dump. Back to underneath to Best. Bounce pass to Olsen. Catch and shoot from Will. In and out. No good. Strong rebound by Sterling. He's going to throw it up. No good. Tipped up in the air. Best comes away with the rebound. He's going to be fouled. And that one may go on Venema. There were some big swipes taken by the Pioneer players. And no, that one's going to go on Ryder Lee. 6-team foul. That was the last that the Pioneers had to give here, as Best will be at the stripe for a pair. 34-30 with Tyler Best at the stripe, trying to close the gap back down to 2. Knocks the first one down. Best will have one more to go from the stripe. The Tetons bring Sterling out of the blocks. They get him back on defense in case there's a run out. Now Best at the line for his second of 2. Tyler, next one on the way up, rims in and out, no good. DeWam comes down with the rebound. He'll look to get it off to Bell. Bell dealing with a trap. He'll have to jump it off. It goes to DeWam. DeWam flip pass, gonna be just get past the defender. Now English working. Bounce pass underneath. They get it to Lee. He'll spin, lose a bobble, out it goes. Stolen away by Olsen, and Olsen's gonna be fouled by Bell, as as Ethan Bell will pick up his second foul. And that'll be a 1-and-1 now coming from Will Olsen. So Olsen will get a couple of looks at the bucket uncontested, and hopefully that will get him going from the floor. 7th team foul on the Pioneers. Second on Bell as Olsen's at the stripe. His first half of the 1-and-1 is up and good, so he'll get the second. Now back to a 2-point game, 34-32, with Olsen a chance to make it just a 1-point contest if he can knock down this one. And that one's off no good. He's going to be off the hand of, we're going to say it's off of Richard Massey, as the crowd not in favor of that call, as the Pioneers may have gotten away with one. Bell working his way up. They get it to English. He's looking to attack. He gets down underneath. Puts it up, no good. It'll be DeWam gets it with a jump hook. That's going to be up, no good. English with another rebound. Puts it up. That's no good. Sterling finally comes down to the board. Back comes Olsen. Olsen crosses over on top of the perimeter. He's going to look to attack. Gets it off to Best. Best for 3 for the lead. Off the mark, no good. Pulled down by DeWam. Long pass to Venema underneath. He's going to put it up and off the mark. Tipped up and around. Comes down with Ethan Bell. He's going to save it from going out of bounds. Picked up by Yambi. Yambi is hounded by a couple of defenders. Get across the timeline to Sterling. Looking to drive. Puts it up and in it goes for Rex Sterling. What a wild sequence, and the Tetons have it tied up. Mackay Marks set to check in on the next stop. Under 7 minutes left to go, tied up at 34. Venema has it on the near wing, looking for English up on top. Give and go isn't there. DeWam goes out to the far wing. High post to Venema. Tapped away from Massey, but he can't quite take it away. Venema on the low post, are looking to get it down underneath to English, and he's going to be fouled by Yambi. So Yambi will draw the foul. He got faked out, and he may have taken a shot, as he looks like he's a little banged up. So we have Mackay Marks coming into the game. That is an under 7-minute timeout. We'll take a timeout here as well. Tie ball game, 34 apiece. We'll be back for more of this first half in 1 minute.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown service drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons made a substitution. They brought in Mackay Marks for Richard Massey. Marks has been playing good. Massey has been a standout defensive player for the Tetons. Here comes an inbound play for the Pioneers from underneath their own basket. Swing pass out to English. Three-pointer open. In and out it goes. No good. Pulled down by Tyler Best. Hands it off to Yambi. Back comes Williston State looking to take the lead. Yambi picks up a screen on top. Over to Olsen. Olsen, he's going to dribble it off the back of his heel. Picked up by Best. Tetons avoid disaster. Now be Best. Gets it underneath to Sterling. He goes up. Pump fake. Puts it up and hoop and the harm. Rex Sterling knocks it down through contact, and the Tetons are up by 2. Feller set to check in for Williston State. So that'll be Feller coming in for Will Olsen. Olsen may be just spelling in rather quickly as he's still recovering from mono until he get his legs all the way underneath him. Sterling will be at the line for one shot. Now Tetons up 36-34. Here comes the one, and that one is going to be off. No good. Tetons can't convert. And here comes Ethan Bell. Long pass to Venema on the high post. Contested shot going to be off the mark. Sterling with the board. Gets it off to Best. Tetons looking to push. They had Feller in the corner. He's going to get it. He's going to flips it underneath to Sterling. Sterling gets a move and another foul. That one's going to go on to Wam. That'll be his 3rd. And Coach Tate not happy with that defensive recovery as Coke will be checking back into the game for DeWam. Some foul trouble coming, and that's the 9th team foul now on the Pioneers as the Tetons have been forcing the issue here, especially on the drive of the Pioneers have been settling for mid-range jumpers. Sterling back at the line for a pair. First one on the way is up and good. Now 37-34. Yambi going out of the game for the Tetons. Inget coming back in. And for the Pioneers, it'll be Coke in for DeWam, who will most likely see a good chunk, if not all of the rest of this first half on the bench. Sterling for her second is up and good. He's having himself a good first half as the Tetons are now up 4. Lob pass from Bell goes to Venema. Back to Bell, looking to work against a Teton trap. Looking to curl through, gets Venema. He's looking. Venema got away with a walk there on that one. Coach Herman let's tell his guys to settle down. Long rebound. It's going to be taken away by Marks. Long pass up to Sterling. Gives it to Inget. Had Feller on a streak. Just too much traffic. Inget looking for a baseline pass. Finds Feller now from Best. There's going to be Feller hits the top of the side of the backboard, and Sterling gets it out to Inget. Kicks it up on top to Best, who goes on the drive. Little running floater up and in for Tyler Best. He has 2 more, and the Tetons are up 6, 40-34 with 5:20 left to go. More trapping press to get it off to English. He's going to drive. Baseline over to Coke. Looking for Venema up on top. Through his fingers, but into the hands of Lee. Back to Venema. He'll flip it underneath to Coke, and there's going to be a foul underneath by Inget. Coach Irvin likes that call by Inget to take the foul, not to allow the 2 points, as that will be just the 5th team foul. First personal on Tyson. More subs coming in for the Pioneers, and a good sign as the Pioneers are bringing back Peyton Kokot, who is out injured. Inbound play coming for the Pioneers. They get it into Kokot. Baseline, flips underneath to Coke. He's going to be cut off by Sterling. Working the way around. Long pass tipped out of bounds by Tyler Best. Great move for Best. As the Pioneers now looking to re-inbound. Inbounding the ball will be Chaz Haas. Get it up on top to English. Has a pass tipped by Feller, but he'll pick it away. Loose ball on the ground. Venema's going to pick it up. He's going to look to drive. Flips it off to Coke. Baseline jumper. Gets Sterling up in the air, and there's going to be a hoop in the harm on for Coke as he takes a bump from Rex Sterling. That's the second Teton that has been able to put one up. A big pump fake, and a Teton bites on it. There's going to be a timeout called on the court. It's going to be a short one called by the Pioneers. We're going to take a short timeout as well. We'll be back here for more Teton basketball in 30 seconds.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Koch at the line to try and complete the three-point play. He's going to put it up and knock it down. That'll make it a three-point game now after the three-point swing. Inget gets it over up on top to Best. Feller cutting through, screening for Sterling. They get Sterling on the high post. Jump pass over to Feller. Catch and shoot on the way. Off the back of the iron. No good. Pulled down by Venema. Back comes Haas and the Pioneers looking to close this one up here before half. 4:30 left to go. English on top of the perimeter. Looking to get it off to Kokot. Kokot looking for a baseline drive. He gets it to Koch on the high post. Koch gets into the body of Sterling. And there's going to be a bailout foul called on. I believe it's going to be on Makai Marks. That'll be the 7th team foul, and it'll put Koch back at the line for a couple. So Coach Herman asking the officiating crew here what was the call on that one, as he got a rationale that he could live with. As Koch knocks down the first of two, now he's scored the last 4 in a row for the Pioneers, and the last 4 in a row in the game, trying to make it 5 in a row and make it just a 1-point contest. Koch for his second of 2. That one's going to take a friendly bounce and drop in there now, 40-39. Tetons up by 1. Inget pushing up over to Best. Hand it back to Inget. Yambi set to check back in on the next stop. Sterling hands it off to Best, who curls around, drives through. He's going to be tipped away, and it's going to be into the hands of Venema. He'll cross over. Long pass is going to go to English. English on the near wing. They get it to Kokot underneath. Jump stop up on top. It'll go. Stolen away by Feller. Feller's going to keep it in bounds. Tiptoe down the tightrope. And Brady Feller's going to go with a reverse layup. He'll be fouled by Venema. So Feller will draw the foul and go to the line for 2. And that is the 10th team foul on the Pioneers. The Tetons will be shooting away for the remainder, 3:50 of the half. Venema with just his first. And Feller, chance to extend it out to a 2 or 3 point lead if he can knock down one or both. First one on the way is going to be up and good. Inget going out of the game for Williston State. He's subbed in for Bayambi. Feller at the line for his second of 2. If he knocks it down, into the game will come Richard Massey. Feller at the line for his second. That one is going to be up and in. So Feller knocks down both of them. And he'll get a break on the bench as well with Massey back in. Now all 5 starters back onto the court for Williston State. And they'll put in a little bit of token full court press. Here comes a late trap. Looking to get it out. Long bounce pass over to English. He's going to attack up to the far wing. Now go for a baseline drive, and he'll dribble it off his toe out of bounds. Tetons force the turnover. That'll give it back to Williston State. And Coach Tate and the Pioneers are going to call a timeout. We're going to wait to see if it's a long one or a short one. It's going to be a full 60 seconds. We'll take that minute. We'll be back in 1 minute.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston is proud to support area student activities. We salute the dedication of all students involved in sports and other extracurricular school activities. Your hard work and dedication shows in the gym, on the field, and in the classroom. ASB has accounts and services to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check them out at asbt.com. Here to make our community better, that's American State Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Tetons up by 3, 42-39 with 3:40 left to go in the first half. This one may be headed to triple digits if the pace keeps up as it started off. Inbound play for the Tetons. Tyler Best gets it into Ben Yambi. He'll jog it up the court. Tetons looking for a big splash right here after the timeout. Yambi is going to drive. He is high angle off the glass. No good. Sterling with the rebound. He's going to put it up and in. Rex Sterling with the board and the bucket. Back up to a 5-point Teton lead. English with the ball being guarded by Massey. He'll get it off to Haas. Here comes a late trap at the top of the perimeter. Now the Tetons will bail off into man-to-man. English has it on the near wing. Up on top to Koch. Koch looking to use his forearm to create separation. Going to be driven by Kokot. He loses the handle out to Venema. Venema drives. Force it over to English. Looking down low for Koch. Can't quite get him. English drives off. He gets it to Koch on the high post. Koch's going to drive. Gets in the body of Sterling. Puts it up and no good. Tipped away by Marks. Marks between his legs saves it from going out of bounds. Good effort by the Tetons. And English gets it away from Sterling. Yambi flows it into the corner to Massey for three. Bounce no good. Tipped away from Sterling by Venema and pulled down by English. Venema flips it underneath over to Koch, and he's going to throw it away into the hands of Tyler Best. Koch slow to get up now. Now he looks like he's fine, working his way up the court. Best on top, over to Massey. Massey over cross to Marks. Marks for three. In it goes. Makai Marks with the triple. The Tetons scrambling a bit, but they got it now, finding themselves up by 8. Here comes Haas. Pushes it past the timeline. Tetons sink down to their 2-3 matchup zone. English now in the far wing, calling out the play for his teammates. Over to Haas. Tip pass by Marks. Goes out of bounds, intended for Venema. And the Tetons are firing on all cylinders here as the Pioneers are going to make a couple of substitutions. Out of the game is going English as well as Haas. Back in is Bell along with Ryder Lee. Lee has had a great start to this game. He'll get the inbound play. Back to Bell along the top of the perimeter. Back to Lee. Under 2 minutes left to go. Pioneers looking for a big bucket here, taking a long time to develop. 3 on the shot clock, close out by Yambi. It'll hit the iron, tipped away by Marks, pulled down by Best. Back come the Tetons. Best with a little hesitation dribble. He'll get it over to Marks. Marks has a wide open look, regathers, and puts it in. No one rotated even after Marks regathered himself, took a dribble, made sure he was set up. An 11-point lead for the Tetons. Bell now pushing it up, guarded by Massey. Over to Lee, waiting for Kokot to come free. They get it up to him on top of the perimeter at the logo. Kokot looking to drive, and he's going to be... They're going to call a foul on the Tetons. That'll be on Massey. So that'll put Peyton Kokot at the stripe for a 1-and-1. 8th team foul for the Tetons. 1:20 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard. So Coach Herman again getting an explanation on the foul. That looked like it was a run-of-the-mill drive with good defense as Kokot knocks down the first of 2. They'll have one more coming. 10-point Teton lead, 50-40. $1:20 left to go. Tetons have a chance for a couple more possessions here in this one. Next one from Kokot. That one going to hit the front and take a friendly bounce again. 9-point lead for Williston State, 50-41. 1:18 left to go. Yambi has it on the far wing. Picks up a Best screen. Gives it to Best, who turns and fires. Got it to go. Tyler Best for a triple. So Tetons firing on all cylinders quite literally here the last couple of minutes. They have now a 12-point lead. Kokot back up to Bell on top. Across the timeline to get it to Koch. Back to Bell. Looking to run baseline. Nothing open. Bell holding on to it. Under a minute left to go. Up to Kokot. He'll get it off to Lee. Closed out by Yambi. Lee looking for it. He'll hand it back off to Kokot. Swings it over to Bell. Bell with another good closeout. Long pass into the corner. Screened by Koch. Frees the man open. It can be pulled down by Sterling. Gets it off to Yambi. Tetons with a full shot clock. Massey takes off the head of steam. He'll drive through. Flips it up. Sterling comes down with it. He puts it back up and in. Everything's coming up Tetons as they're now up by 14 with under 30 seconds left to go. Shot clock is off. Wilson State looking for one last stop. Over to go to Ryder Lee. Lee holding, waiting. Kokot on the high post. He's going to take a pump fake. Lee swings it over to Bell. Bell pulls the trigger. That's going to be off the mark. No good. Pulls down by Best. Gets it up to Yambi. Had a range to get it. 8 left to go in the half. Yambi driving. He's going to put it up and in it goes. Ben Yambi with 2 more. And the Tetons take a huge lead into the half. Shot is no good at the buzzer. Tetons up 16 at the break. 57-41. What a first half by Williston State. And they're going to look to keep the pressure on here in the second. We're going to take a 5-minute timeout so we can run down to the scorer's bench and get the halftime stats when we come down. When we come back, we'll try to settle down and give you all the stats in that first half that was. We'll be back in 5 minutes.
Your education shouldn't mean putting your life on hold. Wherever you are in life, Williston State College has you covered. With our flexible and convenient associate and associate of applied science programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the needs of your lifestyle. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs to choose from, our dedicated faculty are here to help you achieve your career goals. Visit willistonstate.edu/apply or call 701-774-4200 to learn more. Williston State College, where the people make the difference.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop ryanhonda.net.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown service truck location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston is proud to support area student activities. We salute the dedication of all students involved in sports and other extracurricular school activities. Your hard work and dedication shows in the gym, on the field, and in the classroom. ASB has accounts and services to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check them out at asbt.com. Here to make our community better, that's American State Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a wretched mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Just under 10 minutes before we get going for half number 2. And the first one was a wild one, with at one point the Pioneers of Miles Community College leading by 6 points. That came very early with 17:33 left to go, but the Tetons went on a big late run to take their 16-point lead that they currently have, 57-41. Starting off this scoring for Miles and the Pioneers. Koch has 13 points at the break. We'll make sure, double check that from the official stats that we have up here, kept up in the booth. We'll double check that and look. And so Koch has 9 points in the game. 9 points also from Ryder Lee. 6 points coming in from Ethan Venema. 5 points from Ethan Bell, 4 from Aguirre Dewam, 2 from Chaz Haas, and 2 from Peyton Kokon. 14 two-point field goals made in the half by the Pioneers, 2 3-pointers, and they hit 7 of 7 free throws from the line. Shooting in the first half for Miles Community College, they were 16 of 35 for 45%, just 2 of 10 from beyond the arc, and 7 of 7 from the stripe. 14 rebounds in the half. Leading the way for the Pioneers is 5 by Ethan Venema, all on the defensive end. The Pioneers have 12 defensive, 2 offensive rebounds, 2 steals in the game, 2 blocks, 8 turnovers, and the Pioneers were up to 10 personal fouls in that first half. Looking at the Tetons here at the midway point of this one, and this one is a huge one for Williston State to try and keep pace and host a home play-in game. They're led in scoring by Ben Yambi, who has 19 points at the break. Rex Sterling with 16. 9 points coming in from Makai Marks. 4 in from Brady Feller. 6 in from Tyler Best. 2 from Freedom Leon. And 1 from Will Olsen. And good to see Will back out on the court for the Tetons. Looking at shooting overall for the Tetons, they're 19 of 36 from the field for 52%, 7 of 16 from deep for 43%, and 12 of 14 from the line for 85%. Sterling alone has 9 opportunities from the stripe. He hit 8 of 9 free throws. 21 total rebounds for Williston State in that first half, led by Sterling, who has 8 already at the break, well on his way for another double-double, 5 defensive, 3 offensive rebounds. 11 assists by the Tetons, 7 steals, 1 block, 3 turnovers, and 7 personal fouls committed for the Tetons. Makai Marks came away with 2 of them, no one else with more than 1. Especially good news for Rex Sterling and Williston State here in this one, as they look to push on to another Monnet Conference win and go a full 2 games above Lake Region State in the conference standings. With just a handful of games to go, if they are able to do that and go up 2 full games, there would just be 4 games left for them to secure a home play-in spot, as it is Science on the men's side of the bracket have the inside track with a 2-game lead over Dawson on hosting the men's tournament for Region 13. Looking at the advanced stats here with 6 minutes left to go here in halftime. Points in the paint, Tetons 18 to 16. Points off of turnovers, 11 to 6 Tetons. Second chance points, 9 to 2 Williston State. Bench points, Miles with a 17 to 9 advantage. There's been 3 ties, 3 lead changes. Last field goal made by the Pioneers came at 30 seconds left to go. Last one for the Tetons came at 2 seconds left. And now the Tetons sit at their largest advantage of the game, as they made a big push there late, 57-41. If this second half coming up is anything like the first, it's going to be another shootout here at the Well in Williston. We're going to step away for, we'll call it a 4-minute timeout to get ready to go for the start of half number 2. We'll be back to get you going after this 4-minute timeout. You're listening to Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio.
Your education shouldn't mean putting your life on hold. Wherever you are in life, Williston State College has you covered. With our flexible and convenient associate and associate of applied science programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the needs of your lifestyle. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs to choose from, our dedicated faculty are here to help you achieve your career goals. Visit willistonstate.edu/apply or call 701-774-4200 to learn more. Williston State College, where the people make the difference.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer? Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop ryanhonda.net.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other. Because neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our sign. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto at willistonauto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Williston State has their largest lead at half in conference play, up 16 over the Miles Community College Pioneers, 57-41. We have under 1 minute left before we get underway here to start off the second half. And for the Pioneers, looks like they're going to be coming out with their starting five of Bell, Kokot, Lee, DeWam, and Venema. Good to see Peyton Kokot out there after he twisted his ankle in the first half. So he looks like he's moving around with little to no discomfort, or at least he's gotten taped up at the break, and he'll be ready to go. Teton still huddled up. We'll have to see if they'll come out with their normal starting five, and it appears that they will. Starting 5 in the second half of Mackay Marks, Tyler Best, Richard Massey, Ben Yambi, and Rex Sterling. Yambi's having his best game to date so far, all coming in that first half. He has 19 points at halftime, so a huge first half effort for Ben Yambi, and he's looking to keep it going. It will be the Pioneer ball here to start off this second half. Kokot looking to get it into Bell to take things over here to start. Bell gets the ball, works up on top, met by Massey, crosses over. Massey tried to poke it away, now to Dewam, hitting Venema up on the high post. He'll step out to the three-point line. Dewam calling for it, tipped away by Sterling, and it'll be Yambi, pulls it away. He'll look to push it up, and he'll have it poked away by Kokot. Skip pass to Best in the corner, extra pass up on top to Massey. Sterling waves it off. It'll hand it off to Yambi on top. Crosses over on Dewam. Little shimmy and a shake. High angle off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Sterling, who's going to put it up. Reverse layup for Rex Sterling. Up and in. Tetons up by 18. 19:28 left to go on the American State Bank scoreboard here in the game. Bell over to Venema up on top. High post to Dewam. Dewam drives over to Venema again. Shimmy and a shake through. Now gets to the high post. Good defense by Massey. Sterling just about got a finger on it from Kokot, who's going to pull up for the jumper. No good. Pulled down by Marks, and he'll get it off to Yambi, who will march it back up for Williston State. Yambi waiting for things to set up in the half court. He'll approach. Picks up a screen from Sterling. Second pump fake by Yambi. Nothing there. Now to Massey. Massey shimmies through. Bounce pass on the low post. Sterling has it poked away by Dewam. A little bit of sloppy pass. They're going to get it, and it'll be stolen away again by the Tetons. Massey casually flips it behind his back to save it from going out of bounds into the hands of Mackay Marks. Yambi driving on Bell. Loses the handle. Fade away, a little pull-up jumper. Off no good. Tipped away from Sterling by Dewam. Goes to Bell, and he's trying to force a pass back to Venema, and it's going to be stolen away again by Williston State. Best with it now, pushing up the court. Best is going to drive. He goes for the high angle, and that's going to be a foul called on Ethan Venema, picking up his first team foul in the second half. 18:22 left to go, so some sloppy ball on both sides for the Tetons. Get the call, and there's going to be a timeout called by Williston State early. Coach Herman maybe wants to settle his guys on and say, hey, we're not playing pickup ball. It's still a very good team across the way from us. See if it's going to be a short or a long timeout called. It's going to be a full timeout called by Williston State. We'll take a full timeout as well, back in 60 seconds.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust. Member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. At the stripe for a pair is Tyler Best. If Tyler can knock down both free throws, it would put the Tetons up by a full 20 here in the first half. He takes his first one. That's going to be short off the front of the iron. No good. Quick timeout in that first half, under a minute, or just over a minute and a half in. Coach Herman called for it. He wanted to make sure that things got settled down and didn't get too out of control. Second one goes up and in for Best. Now a 19-point lead. Bell, the flip pass over to Venema. Back to Bell. Here comes more trap. Bounce pass across to Kokot. And the Pioneers get it in the half court. Venema on the high post. He gets it underneath to Dewam, who's going to draw the foul on Mackay Marks. That'll be number 3 on Marks. First team foul in the half, and put Aguirre Dewam back at the stripe. In that first half, Dewam was 2 for 2 from the line for Miles Community College. Now looking to chip the lead away. Currently sitting at a 19-point Teton advantage, 60-41. Dewam's first one is going to be up and good. He continues to be perfect from the stripe. he'll be at the line for his second of 2. Dwam again getting ready to go. Here comes number 2 from the stripe. That one is going to be in and out, so 1 for 2. Tetons hold on to an 18-point advantage. Yambi up to Best. He'll flip it back to Yambi. Looks to curl around. He'll pick up his dribble. Gets to Sterling, who's going to be behind the back dribble. Kick pass into Marks. Marks drives to Best in the corner. Best being guarded by Venema. Nothing to do with it. Bounce pass over to Yambi. Yambi coming around a couple of defenders. Bounce pass underneath to Sterling. Puts it up and in. What a pass for Yambi. He went up for a fadeaway jumper, but redirected in midair to put the ball right on the button. Tetons up by 20, 62-42. High post to Venema. He's going to pull up with a jumper. No good. Pulled down by Massey. Massey bounce pass over to Best. Best, a little hesitation, looking to drive on Venema. He gets a step, going to put it up and high ankle, no good. Tipped away by Sterling, over to Yambi. Yambi got away with a walk. He's going to put it up against Bell, and Bell will draw the foul. Ben Yambi will go back to the line for Williston State. So Ethan Bell picking up the foul, and that'll be his second personal foul, as Yambi's at the stripe for a pair. 17-15 left to go in the second half on the American State Bank scoreboard. Yambi with his first is going to be up and good. We'll have one more coming. Sterling talking to Coach Herman here in between free throws. Now he'll get back across the timeline to get ready for defense. Yambi's second one on the way is going to be up and good. Perfect 2 for 2. That trip for the Tetons. Bell working his way up against Massey. Takes off on the races, gets across the timeline. Now to Kokot, jump pass to Venema, looking underneath for Dewam. Venema with a turnaround jumper, that falls off the front of the rim, no good. Back comes Williston State, now looking to put the pressure on some more and increase the lead. Yambi with a 3, up on, it goes. Ben Yambi is absolutely on fire here this afternoon in Williston. 67-42, 25-point Teton lead. Kokot has it, being cut off by Massey. Up on top to Bell. Bell approaches the top of the perimeter. He's going to be fouled by Yambi. So Tetons pick up their second team foul. Spencer Haas, it's going to be Chaz Haas coming into the game, as well as Chris English. They check in for Bell as well as Kokot. Inbound play goes for the Pioneers from the near sideline. Haas gets it into English up on top. Looking for Dewam, who pops out to the top of the perimeter. Dewam, jump pass into the corner. Venema, open look for 3, and he knocks it down. 3-pointer for Ethan Venema, and that chips it down to a 22-point game. Now a little full court press. Long pass up on top to Yambi. He had a brace for contact in case Haas undercut him. Up on top to Best, and Best is going to be whistled for the travel. Had a little bit of a shimmy before he took off on a big drive, trying to attack Venema in the lane. So now the Tetons look to get some stops here, not allow a big comeback for the Pioneers. Inbound play goes to Haas. He'll get it up to English, who looks to drive up to the wing. English with a running floater up, no good. Venema misses the putback dump, and Sterling comes away with it. Back comes Yambi. Out it goes to Massey. Massey with the run-out layup up and in. That is a good play by Massey. His first points of the game. Back up now, 24-point lead for Williston State. Feller set to check in for the Tetons. Lee over to Venema on the wing. He'll get it to Dewam, working on Sterling. Dewam gets through, and there's going to be a foul called on the floor on Sterling. So Sterling now picked up his second foul. Inget, and Feller will be coming into the game for Massey and Marks. For Yambi and Massey. Inbound play coming for the Pioneers. 15:44 left to go. Up on top towards the logo. It goes to English. Lee has it, looking for options. Venema on the high post, looking to attack Sterling. Fadeaway jumper, point blank, or from about 5 feet out for Venema. He's made 5 points in a row for the Pioneers. Up comes English, gets it over to Best. Hands it to Feller, works his way back around, now hands to Sterling. Sterling back to Best. Spot up, 3-pointer off the mark. Best got hit on the way long. Rollout's going to go to Venema. He pushes it over to Lee. Lee looks for a baseline jumper. He's going to body up on Inget. Long pass to English from the corner for 3. That is up and in. So Chris English with the triple. Now back down to a 19-point lead for the Tetons. they'll have to make sure they get something going here, not to allow the Pioneers to continuously chip away at it. Sterling holding on, getting up on top to Inget. He's going to curl around, picks it up, back to Feller on the near wing. Up top to Best. Gets Venema in the blender underneath to Sterling. He's going to put it up and in. 2 more for Rex Sterling. And there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Herman. And the Tetons wants to make sure that they don't allow too many easy things. Just a short timeout. We'll take a short one as well. Back in 30.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball. Full court press being put on by the Tetons. Inbound play for the Pioneers gets to Haas. He'll work up the court on Inget. Up on top, Haas loses a handle. He'll pick it back up. Bounce pass over to English. Venema calling for it on the high post, trying to get it down to DeWam. DeWam gets into Sterling. Jump shot up, no good. Sterling with the board, gets it off to Feller. Feller running in the court, looking ahead. Looks like he'll take off on DeWam, gets into the body, puts it up. They're going to call a block on DeWam. Long pass is going to be intercepted by Best. Best, bounce pass over to Feller. He'll hold on to it. Long skip pass to Inget. Inget drives, jump stop in the paint, and there's going to be a foul called on the Pioneers as they gave a little bit of a shove to Inget in the air. That one's going to go on Haas. Ian Johnson checks into the game for Williston State. He'll come in for Tyler Best. So Marks and Sterling, the starters, still on the court for Williston State. All the players on the court for the Tetons, besides Ian Johnson, have started sporadically throughout the season. 71-50, 14:08 left to go. Tetons looking to get clear. They get Feller underneath, guarded by English, and Feller goes up strong and puts it in underneath the basket. Back comes Haas. Inget tried for the steal. He has to recover quickly and does a good job of that. Back up on top to English. Looking for Venema. Venema over the top of Johnson, and that's another three-pointer by Ethan Venema. He's going to try to will his team to come back in this one. 20-point Teton lead. Leon and Yambi set to come back in on the next stop. Johnson picks up his dribble, looking for help to come get it. Bounce pass to Sterling. It's DeWam, pulled the chair out from under him. Up it'll go to Johnson. He's going to get to the high post. Looks to go on Venema. Throws one up, no good. And it's going to be a rebound back to Johnson. Here comes Marks for a three-pointer. Off the mark is going to be no good, and there's going to be a push called on Rex Sterling underneath. So a ticky-tack foul called on Williston State. That'll be number 3 on Rex. As we have some changes coming in there for Williston State. Out is Marks, Inget, and Feller, as well as Sterling. Into the game is Massey, Yambi, Leon, as well as Dietz. Tetons up by 20, 73-53. English has the ball on top for the Pioneers. Lee over to Venema. Backdoor underneath to English. Too easy, and Chris English puts it up and in. Teams now are even in scoring here in the half. Johnson gets the ball, works it up on top for Williston State. Now to Massey, head of steam, looking for a backdoor cut to Dietz, forces it over to Johnson, push it up to Massey. Massey back to Johnson. Open three on the way, off the mark, no good. Johnson again with another long rebound, out to Dietz. Dietz on the drive, spin move, loses the handle to Yambi. Yambi drives through, flip pass up on top to Massey. Massey on the drive, he's going to go high angle, no good, and it's going to hit Lee before it goes out of bounds. No, they're going to say it didn't hit Lee, as it hit him in the chest as he was watching it bounce. They'll give it back to the Pioneers. 18-point lead for the Tetons, still 12:40 left to go. Tetons can't take their foot off the gas yet. Haas working up the court on Dietz to hand it off to English, over to Venema, to Lee. Tetons recovering. Venema in the paint, pulls the trigger, up and good, just at the high elbow. Ethan Venema is having himself a monster half. Back comes Ian Johnson for the Tetons. Tetons need to start scoring here again in the second. Dietz gets it. Going to drive through, goes for a North Dakota floater, misses everything but the backboard, pulled down by Venema. Here comes English back up the court. 73-57. Gets it in the cross court to Ryder Lee for three. Off the mark, no good. Pulled down by Massey. And the Tetons looking to push. They get it over. It's going to be passed. It's going to be tipped by English. He's going to go to the basket against a pair of Tetons, and he'll be fouled on his way up. Tyler Best coming back in the game. And the Tetons on their heels a little bit. 16-point lead with a chance to get it down to 14 if Chris English can knock down these two. So Tetons at 1 point were up 25. And chance for the Pioneers to erase over 10 of that here over the last about 7 minutes. English at the line for the pair. His first one is going to be up and in. 15-point lead as Tyler Best will come in the game for Ian Johnson. Tetons missing Rex Sterling, who took a break on the bench after picking up his third. English back at the stripe, and he'll rattle in his next one. 2 for 2. Makes it a 14-point game, 73-59. Yambi working his way up the court. Flips it to Best across the timeline, who will be met by Venema. Dietz working his way through. Leon comes get the ball up on top. He's going to step through, kicks it back to Yambi. Yambi's going to look to drive on English. Swing pass back to Leon. Leon, a big foot fake, looking to drive on Koch. Jump stop over to Yambi. Baseline drive on English. Reverse layup, lots of contact, no foul called. As back comes Haas looking to work the court. Over it go to Lee. Hands it off to English. Back up to Lee. Flips it to Haas. Haas with a three. That is going to be off the mark. No good. Koch runs it down. Long rebound. And it'll be a fresh 20 on the clock. Into the corner for Lee. Back it'll go to Koch. He'll step through and forces one up. That'll be off. Lee's going to have it stripped from his hands. And it'll go back to the Pioneers. With 11:11 left into the game come Will Olson and Rex Sterling. In for Tevin Dietz and Freedom Leon. The 14-point game, 73-59, over halfway through, or just not quite halfway through. Inbound pass goes to English, and he puts it up and in. Chris English now with 4 straight points for Miles. 12-point game, 73-61. Tetons looking to put some buckets in the baskets. High screen by Sterling. Long 2-point jumper up, and that'll drop in there from Tyler Best. So much needed stop to the drought for Williston State. 75-61. English on top of the perimeter. Koch coming up top to pick up the ball. Look for a give and go. Nothing there. Yambi with good defense on the post. Koch driving on Yambi. Little jump hook up, no good. It'll be wrestled away from Sterling. He's going to pick it up and run the court. Bounce pass over to Olson. Olson up to Massey. Massey takes off on the drive. Gets it pass to Best. Extra pass up on top to Yambi for 3. Off the mark, no good. Olson gets it, floats it in the paint. That's to be no good. Lee comes down with it. Back comes English and the Pioneers. He's racing across the timeline. He'll hold off into the corner to Haas. Looking down low for Venema. Looking for a post-to-post pass to English. Off the mark, pulled down by Best. Tetons running out. Best pushes it up to Olson. He'll slow things down. Back it'll go up to Tyler Best. Best looking to drive on Venema. He's stopped underneath. Puts up the short shot. No good. Tipped up a couple times. Sterling comes down with it. And there's going to be a foul called underneath. As Aguirre DeWam said to check back into the game. So third on Lee, 4th team foul. Tetons with 5. And DeWam will be coming into the game. He'll be checking in for Venema. So both bigs out on the court two bigs out on the court for Miles, as Venema will have to take a seat on the bench, and he has been electric here in the second. Inbound play goes to Olson in the corner, up on top to Massey, looking for Yambi. Yambi, high screen coming from Sterling. Step back, working on English, gets a step, and there's going to be a shot up, but the foul's going to come on the floor before Yambi could get to the bucket. English will pick up that one, 15 foul. Second personal on English. So now each team with just one more foul left to give before bonuses hit. Yambi set to enter from the baseline. Olson gets it in the near corner. Looking for Sterling underneath. Gets him one-on-one with Koch. Long pass to Yambi being cut off by English. He'll bully his way through, and Yambi's going to draw the next foul again. So Yambi, as he has been just fantastic for the Tetons, is going to draw the third personal foul on English. So that was the last foul to give for the Pioneers. Yambi now looking to trigger again. The Tetons all along the paint. Yambi calling for action. Massey curling out. Sterling has it poked away. Koch gets it back door up on top, and there's going to be a travel called on Sterling. And there's be technicals issued on the court. So Rex Sterling issued a technical foul, as well as Koch issued a technical foul. So that will serve as the fourth personal for Sterling as those two bump fists together. Now tensions are starting to heat up in Williston as a timeout called on the court by Williston State. It's going to be a full timeout called by the Tetons. We'll be back in 1 minute.
American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston is proud to support area student activities. We salute the dedication of all students involved in sports and other extracurricular school activities. Your hard work and dedication shows in the gym, on the field, and in the classroom. ASB has accounts and services to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check them out at asbt.com. Here to make our community better, that's American State Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
Your education shouldn't mean putting your life on hold. Wherever you are in life, Williston State College has you covered. With our flexible and convenient associate and associate of applied science programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the needs of your lifestyle. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs to choose from, our dedicated faculty are here to help you achieve your career goals. Visit willistonstate.edu/apply or call 701-774-4200 to learn more. Williston State College, where the people make the difference.
Mike Ritter back here for Teton basketball with those dual technical fouls. That hurts the Tetons more than it does the Pioneers because that's number 4 on Rex Sterling. As Coach Herman's having some words with his big man on the bench. It is Pioneer ball. Haas brings it up the court, being guarded by Olsen. Go back down, now flip it up on top to DeWam. Looking for Koch on the high post. Gives it back to DeWam underneath, runs into Leon, turnaround jumper, hook up, no good, tipped away, comes down, is Tyler Best with the board. Best will put it on the deck, get it off to Yambi, 9:20 left to go, long pass out to Massey on the corner. He'll drive baseline, has it tipped away by Ryder Lee. Tetons keep possession. They're up by 14 points, 75-61. Tetons have led by as many as 25. They had a 16-point lead at halftime. Inbound play goes for the Tetons. Looking to get it out to Olsen. Up on top to Massey. He'll flip it back to Yambi. Picks up a high screen from Leon. Pick and pop for Leon for 3. Off the mark, no good. DeWam comes down with the rebound. Big miss for Leon as back comes English. Crossing over in front of Yambi. Not fooled by it. Gets it back to DeWam up on top. Koch looking for it on top of the perimeter. And they get it back to DeWam. Looks for a two-man game running with the big men. DeWam pulling it back out on top. They get it to Koch. Leon with good defense, but Koch's able to just lift it up over the rim. 2 more, and it's a 12-point game, 75-63. Yambi working around, gets across the timeline. Over to Best. Back to Yambi, finds Leon again up on top. Best on the perimeter, and there's going to be a foul called on acquired DeWam. He bowled over Ben Yambi, who is setting a screen. So that'll bring back in Ethan Venema, and there will be free throws coming for Williston State as DeWam picks up his 4th personal foul. So now a player for each team getting his 4th, as it is Yambi at the line for a 1-and-1. Looking to push this lead out a little bit here against the Pioneers. 8th team foul on Miles. First one up and good for Ben. He'll have one more coming. Back up to a 13-point lead. Chance to make it 14 with just under 8.5 minutes left to go in the game. Yambi at the stripe for his 2nd of 2. Lets it fly. That one is good as well. 2 for 2 from Yambi. Inbound play goes to Haas. Look to jump pass. Get it back to Venema. Back to Haas. Here comes another jump. Gets it down to English. Had a man underneath. Lee with a 3-pointer from the near wing. Off the mark. Leon with the board. Leon putting it up the court. He'll push it over to Yambi, and Yambi's going to have his pocket picked by Chris English. He's going to Euro step through, puts it up and in. So English with the bucket to erase the 2 points from the free throw by Yambi. Back to Tyler Best. He'll get it up to Will Olsen. 12-point game, 77-65, under 8 minutes left to go. Olsen hands it off to Massey, and there's going to be a touch foul on Chaz Haas. That'll send Richard Massey to the stripe for a 1-1. Second personal on Haas, who is still not sure if it's pleading his case or at this point, because he was talking to any official who would look at him that it wasn't a foul, as Massey's at the stripe. 2 more big free throws here. First one up and no good. Pulled down by Koch. Empty set for the Tetons on the 1-1. Tetons looking to get some stops. Haas has it on the far wing, directing traffic. Lee gets it up on top, looking for Venema. Gets the bounce pass over in the corner to Haas. Baseline drive. Spins underneath, looking to get it off. Finds English. English with the mid-range floater is going to draw the foul from Richard Massey. And that'll put Chris English at the line for 2 more. So a chance to bring it back down to just a 10-point game as Mekhi Marks comes off the bench to check in. So it'll be English at the stripe for 2. Taking his dribbles, here comes the first of 2. That one will roll in there as well. Massey coming out of the game. Marks coming back in. Marks had 9 points in the first half on 3 3-pointers. Tetons could use one or a couple more here relatively quickly with 7:34 left to go in the game. Second one is up and in for English, and there's going to be a timeout called by Coach Tate and the Pioneers. 10-point game, 77-67, 7.5 left to go. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
Mike, we're back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio, looking at the stats in between in the timeout here, and the Tetons have only been outscored by 6, although with the momentum shifted, it feels like it's a lot more than that. Tetons have the ball, 7.5 left to go. Yambi up on top, 77-67. Sterling still on the bench for Wilson State with 4 fouls. Yambi over to Best, gets Venema up in the air, up on top to Yambi. He'll get English up in the air from the free throw line up, and there's going to be a foul called underneath, and it's going to be on the Pioneers. See, that one looks like it's going to be, no, it's going to be on the Tetons. So Leon will pick up the foul, and that'll put Koch to the stripe for a 1-1, a chance for the Pioneers to get the lead down to single digits with here 7.25 left to go. Koch at the stripe for the first half of his 1-1. No Pioneers into rebound. He'll put his first one on the way, and that one will be up and good. Now a 9-point game, chance to make it 8 if Koch can knock down the second half of the 1-1 bonus. He's at his stripe for the second one. On the way it goes. That one rattles around and drops in there. Now an 8-point game. Yambi off to Best. He'll bring it across the timeline. 7-12. Best drives. Going to have it tipped away by Haas. And they're going to... Tetons are able to pick it up in the backcourt. Olsen now up on top. Gives it off to Leon on the baseline. Drives. Swing pass. Going to be intercepted by English. Here comes English down the court. He's going to get into the body of Yambi. No good. Venema misses another putback dump. And it'll come down to the hands of Will Olsen. He'll push it up the court for Williston State. Olsen stops at the perimeter. Thought about a three-pointer. Gives it off to Yambi on the drive. He jump pass into the corner to Marks. Up on top to Best. Leon calling for it. Best on the drive. He goes for a mid-range jumper. Up and good. Another good one for Tyler Best, and a much-needed bucket for the Tetons, who are back up by 10. Oz back up the court. 6.5 left to go. He'll get it off to Lee on the near wing. Up on top to Venema now to English. Looking underneath for Lee, and that's going to be up and in. Too easy. Late to rotate was Freedom Leon. 8-point Teton lead, 79-71. Back up comes Tyler Best. He'll cross over on Venema. He's cut off. Flip pass into the corner for Yambi. Yambi with a foot fake on English. He'll pull it back out, and the Tetons will reset. Leon calling for it in the low post. Yambi wants a high screen. Yambi crosses over on English. Little confusion for the Tetons. Out to Leon. Got away with a walk. He's looking for a teammate to get it off to. Now Best with the drive. Gets down to the low post. He'll jump through, throw it up off the backboard. No good. Pulled down by Koch. He loses it into the hands of Leon. And he popped out of bounds by English. Tetons will inbound with a fresh 19 on the shot clock after the offensive board. 5:44 left to go. So Tetons, if they can whittle some more time off the clock and get a bucket, would be huge in this 8-point game. Inbound play coming up on top to Mackay Marks. Massey set to check in the corner to Best. Best with a three. Got it to go. Tyler Best with a huge shot. Tetons back up by 11. Haas pushing it up the court for Miles. Little fancy footwork. Gets it over to Lee. Up on top to English. Backdoor cut again by Lee. Good recovery by the Tetons. English has it. Looking to drive. He's going to throw it up and no good. Pulled down by Olsen. Long pass goes out to Marks. Gets it on the low post. He'll back down. Out to go to Best. Best is going to drive on English. Baseline jumper for Tyler Best. That's off the mark. No good. Pulled down by Lee. Feller still waiting at the scoreboard. Here comes Hawes. Back up the court. Handed off to Lee. Bounce pass underneath. Koch slips by and he'll throw it down to 30. Throw past Freedom Leon. Best now walking the ball up the court. 9-point lead for Williston State, 82-73. Best run into trouble. Looking for a teammate to get it off to. Finds Olsen. Olsen, long pass over to Yambi. Yambi going to pick up a high Leon screen over to Marks in the corner. Marks looking to drive on Haas. Back down again. Haas can have it stripped away. Up it goes to Lee. Lee is going to take it. He'll have be underneath the basket. Good defense by Olsen, but Ryder Lee puts it up and in for two. As now it's just a 7-point Teton lead, 85-75 with 4:20 left to go. Tetons are going to be calling a timeout here with 4:15 left to go in the game. Their 25-point lead now down to 7. And it is a full timeout called by Williston State here with 4:14 left. We're going to take a full one as well, back in 60 seconds.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Of all your choices for a financial institution, clearly the best is the West. Western Cooperative Credit Union is money done the Western way. WCCU provides you with good old-fashioned Western hospitality every time you walk through our door. We treat you like neighbors ought to treat each other, because that's just who we are, neighbors. So head west. You'll know you're here when you see the bison on our side. Join the herd at Western Cooperative Credit Union, federally insured by NCUA.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. It's a 7-point game, 82-75. And the Tetons holding on to the lead with 4:14 left to go. Tetons did make a substitution at the break. They brought in Brady Feller in for Will Olsen. Inbound play coming from Mackay Marks. He gets it to Leon up on top. Leon look to take it off now to Best on the near wing. Best hands it off to Yambi up on top. Yambi holding down. High screen coming from Leon. He'll cut the defense. Get to the low post. Up to Leon. Between his fingertips it goes. He'll pick it back up. 10 on the shot clock. Over to Feller. Feller behind his back. He's going to step up. Tough shot in the paint. Off the mark. No good. Force one up. And English with the rebound. Long pass out to Koch. He'll get into the body of Best. That's going to be up no good. Venema picks it up and puts it back down. It's a 5-point lead. Back up comes Tyler Best. 3:38 left to go. Best hands it off to Feller. 2-possession game. Feller to Yambi. Yambi with a huge three. Got it to go. Then Yambi pushes the lead back up to 8 with under 3.5 left to go. 85-77. Back up the court comes Chaz Haas for the Pioneers. He'll get to the near wing. Up on top to Venema. Now to Koch. Venema dips down onto the wing. Looking for English backdoor. Tetons just about let another big shot come. It's going to be English. Takes a step inside the paint for a mid-range jumper. No good. Pulled down by Best. Bounce pass over to Yambi, who will push it up the court. He'll be met by English on top of the perimeter. 3 and counting now in the game. Best on the drive to Venema. He'll get down low to Yambi again for a corner three. Got it to go, Ben Yambi. 6 in a row for the Tetons, who are now back up by 11, 88-77. 2:45 left in the game. Up on top to Venema. He gets it over to English, back to Venema. Three-pointer, late challenge, in and out, no good. Tipped away from Tyler Best by Koch, and it'll be out of bounds. Back to Williston State. 2:37 left to go. Best set to inbound the ball. He'll get it into Yambi, who'll take his time getting up the court. He'll have a few seconds left to long pass over to Best across the timeline. 2:30. Best looking back door for Feller, nothing there. Now Leon taking Koch, high angle off the board, up and in for freedom. Leon, great post move, and there's going to be a timeout called by Miles. It's a full one with 2:20 left to go. Tetons back up by 13. An 8-0 run for the Tetons. We'll be back in 1 minute.
Coke Zero Sugar tastes so good, people will take a taste any way they can. You never know when your best friend will lunge across a table and grab for it. A stranger could subtly swipe it, or your little brother might just ask for one too many sips. So no matter what you're doing or who you're with, while you're enjoying a Coke Zero Sugar, be ready to protect it at all times, because one sip begs the question, is this the best Coke ever? Take a taste and see.
McDonald's of Williston is proud to support all the Williston State Teton athletic teams and would like to wish them success this season. McDonald's would like to thank the community of Williston and the surrounding area for your patronage over the years. Hey, the next time you're in town, stop by McDonald's for a great meal or a quick snack. McDonald's of Williston. Breakfast, lunch, or dessert, come on into McDonald's of Williston. Proud to be a part of Teton Athletics and proud to be part of the Williston community.
Mike Gooder back here for Teton basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. In a blink of an eye, a 5-point Teton lead ballooned out to 13. Thanks to an 8-0 run, which included 2 3-pointers back-to-back by Ben Yambi. Inbound play goes to Chaz Haas. He'll push it up the court, looking for Chris English. Now he'll call English away. The long pass up on top, just about thrown away by the Pioneers. They get it to Koch on top. Now looking to feed it down underneath to Venema. Gets a good move underneath. Leon is going to get good defense, but Venema's so agile underneath. Gets the bucket up and in. 13-point game under 2 minutes left. Tetons looking to convert a couple more buckets. Best weaving his way around. He hands it off to Marks, who pushes it back to the top of the perimeter. Marks bunked off. Now to Feller. Feller looking to take a low dribble underneath against Haas. Up, no good. Pulled down by Koch. He thought about a long baseball pass down to Lee. He'll take it up the court himself. Now to English on the far wing. English drive underneath the Koch. Go for a tough 2-point shot, and Koch puts it up and in. So a 4-0 run now for the Pioneers, and it's down to a 9-point game with a minute and a half left. Long flip pass from Yambi. Gets it into Best, who will hold on. Looking to get it off to Yambi on the drive. He's going to go through. High angle, up, no good. Missed the bucket. In now, goes back to Koch. He's running the floor for the Pioneers. And it goes to Haas. Haas back to Koch, who's going to be fouled by Leon, and the bucket goes in. So Koch with a chance for another 3-point play. It's back down to a 7-point game, 90-83. Feller going out, Sterling coming back in. And a chance to make it a 6-point game, but first there's going to be a Teton timeout on the court with 1:10 left to go. We'll see if it's a long one or a short one. Called by Coach Herman and Williston State. It's a full timeout. We'll be back in a minute.
G&G Pharmacy, an independent, locally owned retail pharmacy committed to providing you top-notch customer service from their friendly, fast, and knowledgeable staff. Open 7 days a week. G&G Pharmacy offers the convenience of a drive-through window and a traditional retail store. Melissa and Doug toys available at their downtown Service Drug location. And no more wondering when your prescription's ready. Use the mobile app or receive a text message when it's ready from G&G Pharmacy. 572-RXRX. That's 572-7979.
American State Bank and Trust Company of Williston is proud to support area student activities. We salute the dedication of all students involved in sports and other extracurricular school activities. Your hard work and dedication shows in the gym, on the field, and in the classroom. ASB has accounts and services to fit a student's busy lifestyle, too. Check them out at asbt.com. here to make our community better. That's American State Bank and Trust Company. Member FDIC.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton basketball. It is a 90-83 game with one free throw coming from Coke at the line for the Pioneers. Chance to cut it back down to 6 and complete a 7-0 run for Miles and make it a 2-possession game. Coke at the stripe for his first of 1. On the way, it's going to go, and that one is going to be off, no good. Long rebound, tipped away from English by Marks into the hands of Yambi. Yambi working his way up the court on English. He'll get across the timeline. Now dribbles it away from Haas. Out on top, it'll go to Inget. Inget over to Best. Under a minute left to go and counting. Best holding on. He's going to get a count on him. Looking to hold on now. Best goes on a drive. He'll cross over on Venema. Best kicks it out to Marks. Marks gets inside the paint. He's stopped. Best baseline jumper on the way. Got it to go. Tyler Best, huge shot to put the Tetons back up by 9. Haas coming up the court for the Pioneers. Over to English. Looking down low for Venema. Bobbles on the way up, and it's going to be in the cylinder as it's touched by Coke. Goaltending got missed, and that'll be 2 in there for Coke. Long pass out to Yambi. He'll get across the timeline, and he's going to be grabbed by Haas with 27 seconds left. 92-85, 7-point game. So a gift of a play for the Pioneers is a offensive goaltending not called. That's the 10th team foul on Miles, and Ben Yambi will go to the line for a pair of shots. Yambi, who's been sensational here for Williston State tonight, looking to put a couple of huge free throws in with just 27 even left to go in the game. First one up is good for Yambi. He'll have one more coming. Now 93-85. He can make it a full 3 possessions if he can convert this second of 2. Yambi at the stripe for the next one. On the way, and it is good. Now a 9-point game. Yambi forces the Pioneers to pick it up immediately. Venema looking to drive. He'll be cut off. Up on top to Lee. Rises, fires off the mark. Leon tried to tip it away, but a Coke will get it back down in there. He's going to put it up, no good. Best comes down with the rebound. He'll cover up, and there's going to be a jump ball. That'll give the ball back to Williston State here with just 11 seconds left to go. So Tetons will take over. Tyler Best thought he had a good argument for a foul, showing his forearms to the officials, and he just has to shake his head and laugh. Tetons looking now if they can get the ball in. It'll be Best looking to get it in. Bounce pass to Inget, and he'll be fouled right away by Haas with 10.2 left. So that'll put Tyson Inget at the stripe. The Pioneers have 1 timeout left to give. Williston State has 2. Coach Tate can use a timeout to advance the ball just once more. In a 3-possession game with 10 seconds left to go, Tyson Inget with a couple of free throws to try and put the nail on the coffin. If he can go 1 of 2, that'll all but do it here from Williston. And he knocks down the first one, up to a 10-point lead, now 95-85. Inget at the stripe, ready to go for his second. Tyson lets it fly. That one is good. 2 for 2 from the line. Inbound play goes to Haas. Yambi forces him to pick it up. He'll weave through over to English. Pump fake. English with 5 seconds left knocks down the 3-pointer. Chris English with the big bucket. Heave out pass goes to Freedom Leon. And Freedom will put it down with the jam with 1.5 left to go. So the run out dunk for Leon will make it 99-88, and there will be a heave at the buzzer. Will miss short, and the Tetons come away with the win by 10 points, 99-88. We're going to take a 3-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll have the First International Bank and Trust postgame show right here on 660. We'll be back in 3 minutes.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto at WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for the news.
On Sundays, your NFL team is always playing at Buffalo Wild Wings. With 63 HD TVs having the NFL package, you will not miss a minute of action. Enjoy wings, salads, sandwiches, and more as your teams take the field. Come in and fan up while enjoying the variety of beers on tap from kickoff to the final whistle. Located at 417 Rieger Drive in Williston, North Dakota, football lives here. Buffalo Wild Wings. Wings, beers, sports.
Your education shouldn't mean putting your life on hold. Wherever you are in life, Williston State College has you covered. With our flexible and convenient associate and associate of applied science programs, you can take classes fully online to meet the needs of your lifestyle. With 13 CTE and 15 academic programs to choose from, our dedicated faculty are here to help you achieve your career goals. Visit willistonstate.edu/apply or call 701-774-4200 to learn more. Williston State College, where the people make the difference.
From their humble beginnings in 1910 through 4 generations, family-owned First International Bank and Trust has been delivering on the promise to help dreams come true, one customer at a time. Their style of banking places the focus on you first and your overall experience, keeping your best interests in mind and striving to provide smart financial solutions that improve and simplify your life, letting you get back to what matters most. First International Bank and Trust, member FDIC. Equal housing lender.
So you need a new vehicle. You've done your homework, and a new Honda would be perfect. Reliable, fuel efficient, stylish, perfect. But where do you go? Why not your hometown Honda dealer, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston. We have a nice selection of affordable new Hondas, and when it comes time for service, Ryan Honda's authorized Honda Service Center will keep your Honda running its best for years. Come see us today, your full-service hometown Honda dealership, Ryan Honda at Ryan Motors in Williston, or shop RyanHonda.net.
When you're looking for a new or a different home, seek the counsel of the professionals at Basin Brokers. Basin Brokers has offices in Plentywood, Montana, Watford City, and Williston. The realtors at Basin Brokers know the market and will help you find the home that fits your requirements and budget. They're happy to answer all your questions about the area. The real estate office you want to know is Basin Brokers in Watford City, Plentywood, and Williston. Find them online at basinbrokers.com.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. We're at the First International Bank and Trust postgame show of the Tetons' 98-88 win over Miles Community College and the Pioneers. Taking a look at the scoring, starting off with the Pioneers, Ethan Venema finished with 24 points to lead the way. Koch with 23, 18 for Chris English. 9 points coming in from Ryder Lee. 5 in each from Aguirre Dewam and Ethan Bell, and 2 points each from Peyton Kokot and Chaz Haas. Shooting overall in the game for Miles, they were 34 of 72 from the field for 47%, 6 of 9 from downtown for 31%, and 14 of 16 from the charity stripe for 85%. 31 rebounds in the game for Miles. Leading the way is Koch. He had 8 with 5 defensive, 3 offensive rebounds. Overall, the team had 24 defensive rebounds and 7 offensive. 10 assists in the game, led by Chris English's 3. 7 steals, 3 blocks, 12 turnovers, and a total of up to 20 personal fouls. Looking at the Tetons now in scoring, they were led by Ben Yambi, who had 33 points in the game. Yambi shot 50% from the field himself, going 10 of 20 overall, including 6 of 7 from deep and 7 of 7 from the line. Rex Sterling finished with 22. He had 8 of 9 from the free throw line as well. 15 coming in from Tyler Best, 9 from Makai Marks, 8 from Brady Feller, 6 from Freedom Leon, 2 for Tyson Inget, and 1 for Will Olson. Shooting in the game for Williston State, they shot 33 of 71 overall for 46%, 11 of 25 from deep for 44%, and 21 of 25 from the stripe for 84%. Tetons had 43 rebounds in the game. They were a plus 12 in the rebound calling, led by Rex Sterling, who had 13 in the game, 8 defensive rebounds and 5 offensive. Tyler Best also had a double-double, him going 15 and 11. Tetons had 31 defensive rebounds, 12 offensive rebounds. In the game, they had 20 assists, led by Best, who had 5, 11 steals, 1 block, 9 turnovers, and 12 personal fouls. I believe that personal foul number is a little low here at the post-game stats. Looking at some of the advanced stats here as we are post-game. Points in the paint. Miles finished up with more, 42-32. Points off at turnovers, 17-12, Williston State. Second chance points, 16-6, Tetons. And points from the bench, Miles outscored Williston State from the bench, 43-17. No big-time effort for Williston State to come away with this Mondac Conference win. And taking a peek now at the conference standings after the Tetons swept the Pioneers here at home. The Tetons moved to 6-11, a full 2 games ahead of Lake Region State and the Royals. They're just 1 game behind Dakota College at Bottineau, although Bottineau plays their postseason in a D2, so that won't factor into final standings as it results to Region 13. And now the Tetons are just a couple of games behind the Pioneers, who are at 9-8. So it's anyone's going still for that final home play-in game. The Tetons need to come away with most likely at least 1 or 2 more wins to secure their home playoff positioning. Looking at who the Tetons and the Pioneers have coming up here the rest of the way, as both teams now in the final home stretch with just each 4 games apiece. The Tetons have their work cut out for them. They'll be on the road all 4 games on Thursday against Dawson, on the 19th against United Tribes, the 22nd against Science in Wahpeton, and on the road to finish the year against Dakota College at Bottineau. And for the Pioneers to see who they have the rest of the way, the Pioneers will be looking to secure that first home playoff game in Miles City. The Tetons had to go down to Miles City last season, but the Pioneers the rest of the way. Looking to get to the right tab here on my tablet. So the Pioneers the rest of the way, they have now 4 games left as well against Bottineau, against Lake Region State, against Bismarck State, and against Dawson Community College. So a more friendly schedule for the Pioneers. But the Tetons will have to now watch out for the Royals, try not to take away 2 games, as the Royals do have the head-to-head season advantage over the Tetons, going 2-1 against Williston State. We're going to take a quick 30-second timeout. When we come back, we will bring you the Williston Auto Player of the Game. We'll be back in 30 seconds.
You don't have to drive hundreds of miles to get a great deal on a new or used vehicle. Price sells cars at Williston Auto. We're in the business of beating the deal from any dealer. Go ahead, shop around from Bismarck to Billings. Then bring us their best deal. We'll squish it like a bug and beat it like a rented mule. No animals or insects were injured while making this commercial. Price sells cars at Williston Auto and WillistonAuto.com. See dealer for details.
Mike Ruder back here for Teton Basketball on 660 Keys News Radio. Time now to announce the Williston Auto Player of the Game, and that's going to go to Ben Yambi. Yambi finished with 33 points for Williston State, including going 6 of 7 from beyond the arc, so a huge game for him, his biggest so far on the season, and he came up exactly when Williston State needed them. So congratulations to Ben on being named the Williston Auto Player of the Game. That's going to wrap it up for this edition of Teton Basketball right here on 660. I'd like to thank Jaden back at the station for keeping us on the air and sounding good, as well as all of you for tuning in to this and every edition of Teton Basketball right here on 660. Until next time, sports fans, I'm Mike Ruder.
Thank you for joining us for Williston State College.